She's a diamond in the rough. We'll get her polished up and maybe we'll focus. Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Today we're going to work on the 2006 Kawasaki Vulcan Nomad 1600. And I don't think it has any other numbers or letters after that. Man, that's a lot of stuff. So we got this little beauty a few days ago, and I did some troubleshooting on it. We figured it out. We got it running. Now let's start working on making it look better, look good. It's obviously dirty. We got some scratches on it. Chrome is dirty. Some of it's corroded up here. We have, well, let's see. The only light that didn't even work was one of these. I ordered some bulbs, so those will be in a few days. This one's broken. I've been looking to find these. I thought a lot of people would take these off of these kind of bikes and upgrade them, but for some reason I ain't finding them. So I don't really want to order any Chinese ones. I think for now, I'm just going to super glue that one. So we'll super glue it. I have the lens. Unfortunately, it's broken off of here. Well, we'll see. Maybe I can unscrew that, super glue that back to the lens, and then pop it back on. We'll see. There's a little piece missing, but I would rather have this one than a generic crappy one. So we'll see. Maybe I won't be able to fix that. I've ordered a new battery. This thing is just wild. Even though it's got enough juice to kick it over, it won't start. It sounds like it's turning over fine, but these things are very picky on having enough voltage to send to the ECU to start. To me, that just sounds like it should be enough, but it's not. All right, what else are we going to work on? Oh, I'm probably going to remove this California emission stuff. Shh, 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 shh. Don't tell the EPA. Shh, quiet. And I haven't decided yet what to do here. I've located a couple of speedometer units that, like, the glass is cracked on them. And one of them I found, it looks like it's all beat up, but it does have this button, which, like I said, unfortunately I can't find to order anywhere else. I'd like to have that because that's how you reset the odometer, you know, for the trip meter and that sort of thing. What else are we gonna do? Oh, and this bag. Now, I found a couple of these online. You can buy, people just sell the inners because these outers break more because bikes fall over. So, like I said, this thing is odd that is broken. It's almost like something fell on it. But I think for now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this bag off, put it up on the table, and put a little bit of heat in here with my heat gun and try to push this out to get it kind of level. And then we'll put some ABS cement on it. For now, the inner bags that I found are green. There's two green ones, and they're reasonably priced, about $100, which I don't think is terrible. But, you know, at that point, then I have to paint them. So, I don't know. If we can get this one sealed up, maybe I'll put some Bondo on the outside and sand it, and then just paint this one. I don't know. We'll have to decide if the time versus effort is worth it. So, let's see. First things first, I am going to super glue that to get that started, and then, oh yeah, this hazy ass windshield. So I have a couple of different things we can try. We'll work on that as well. I remember why I don't like these kind of bikes. But anyway, there we go. Versus, there you go. Yeah, you can, hi. I'm using Meguiar's metal polish. And I'm not the best at this. I have a couple friends who are really good detailers, but not I. But I removed this piece to clean behind it. You see I left it on that side and I still have that lower wind deflector. So I'm going to take that side off, clean it, and then I'm going to clean those deflectors. We'll install those. So that'll be this portion of the bike cleaned. Man, what happens when you ride through a couple of rainstorms or a bunch of bugs? Yeah, I like this thing. I just hose it off. Super shiny. Okay, before I move on, I'm going to show you a little cool little deal that I got. I don't use it very often, but bought this thing at Harbor Freight Tools, and it's just a couple of rollers, and it makes detailing your wheels easy. Well, sort of easy. There you go. Hard to turn this thing because it's heavy as hell, but now I can detail the wheel and get around the entire thing. Shiny, shiny. Yeah, even someone who's as lousy at detailing as I am knows that paying attention to the little things makes a big difference. So cleaning that wheel up and then just putting a little bit of cleaning stuff on this front fender really makes that front end pop. And you know, from here the rest of the bike looks okay, but you start getting close and you can really see, you know, how dingy everything is. You get closer here and it looks really nice. Really nice. Yeah, terrible, sorry. So I don't have any real plastic polish. I have just a tiny little bit left. It's probably 20 years old, damn near, or maybe older than that. But I have removed the bracket off of this little lower deflector here, and there's the one that I haven't touched. And this one here, I initially used that stuff there. So you can see the difference between the two. That was just with a little bit of hand rubbing. I was using that little applicator. So I've got all kinds of different things to try here. I have this polish and this compound and some good old turtle wax. So we'll give all those a shot, and then I can polish that up with metal polish. And we'll see. I think I used to have a spongy thing that went on a drill. If I could find that, that would probably work really well, but I mean, look at that. Pretty hazy. We'll see how that turns out. About 2 minutes worth of work on it here. It's better, but it's not good. But I just realized, I remember I have a electric polisher. So I want to bust that out and see what I can do with that. Well, I am by no means done with this thing. This is a lot of work, cleaning these things up, but I have detailed pretty much this side. The seats still need to dry a little bit. And I didn't get all the way in there. I still got to touch up these floorboards a little bit. And up in here I didn't really do very good. I didn't touch that actually. The windshield is much better, but I'm not extremely happy with it. So if anyone knows any amazingly good plastic polish, let me know. Now here's this side, which I haven't done yet. Yeah. There's that turn signal. Unless you really knew that it had that hole in the back right there. I guess you can see it from here, but it's not blatantly obvious any other time. Looks better. So I still got to clean up this side of the engine and take that bag off and all the other items that we were talking about. But I'm pretty much exhausted right now. Been messing around with this thing for a couple of hours. But it cleaned up pretty good. I watch a lot of YouTube videos when people, you know, claim to buy the cheapest Lamborghini on the internet or whatever. I'm willing to bet that I have the cheapest Nomad on the internet. And the thing looks pretty damn decent. All right, here's a bunch of hoses and evaporative canister and purge valve and a mounting bracket and all this crap. I'll show you where all this went here in just a second, but like I said, don't tell on me, but I took all this California emissions shit off this bike. All right, so under this left side cover is where this canister sits. It sits up under here somehow, and it's held in there with a rubber bracket. So you remove that, and then you get a little bit extra storage space under here. This pile of crap goes right up. See where that bolt hole is? There's another one. We can't quite see it. So that's that bracket, and then this thing mounts to it. So then you have hoses that go up to the tank, and so it's a whole octopus full of crap. So hoses go from here to here, and then to the tank, and then up into your air box area here. There's one right down there, and I've already put a cap in there. This actually was a cap that was on here. So there was a rubber cap on there. I pulled it off, and I just pushed it right into there. And then there is another line. Where the heck is it now? I've been moving stuff around. Oh, here it is. And it had a little barb fitting on it to connect to another length of hose. So I just removed the barb fitting union, and then I put a screw in that one. And that goes, you see it moving right there? That goes up there into the fuel injector throttle body or something. So if you could get all the way down there, you could just put a rubber cap on it if you wanted, but this works as well. Now while I've got the tank off, I polished up the top of these valve covers here underneath where you couldn't really get. I got the other side as well. I retaped up this that we tore apart when we were troubleshooting, and I taped up all this, and we received our ECU rubber piece that was missing. I didn't have that. So now our ECU will be protected, and I got the new battery in the mail today. It's over here somewhere on the bench charging. And I did order a slightly incorrect battery. Instead of having terminals on the top, so these mount flat down, it has terminals on the side. So I think I'm gonna be able to make it work, but I got a really good deal on the battery. So everything else is the right configuration, just not that. So if I can't make it work, well, I'll make it work. I got a $25 battery because it was blemished. It has a scratch on the outside of it. So for 25 bucks, I'm gonna roll with it. Let me show you some common stuff here on older motorcycles, even newer motorcycles. The side panels usually are held on with maybe a couple bolts, but usually they have these little plastic knobs, tabs, whatever you want to call them, that go into like a rubber grommet like that, and they break off. So this one's got one broken right here. That's just a little fella, and then this is from the other side cover. So I'm gonna try to super glue these on. This one maybe I'll try to plastic weld, melt it on here. We'll see. I don't like to do that if it's going like to the outside cover because the heat might distort it, but if it's on something like that, I could get away with it. This one is pretty small, so I don't know as if I'm gonna make that one work. But I'll try to fix those. I've removed the saddle bag. We'll try to put a little heat action on here just to push this out. Maybe I'll plastic weld this a little bit from the inside. For now, I think I'm probably gonna replace that. And sad news is our budget battery, even though it was the wrong one, It's got these kind of posts on it, and it's supposed to have those kind. Look at my battery collection, man. It just doesn't have enough juice to kick this thing over. Like I said, this thing is really particular on the amount of power that the battery has to start it. We got it on the battery charger. This is the old battery again. It'll start right up. But if I shut this off, shut the battery charger off and let it sit for a little while, I mean, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, even though it cranks over, I mean, I could crank it over for a minute, 2 minutes straight. It's got plenty of power to turn the battery. I guess it just doesn't have enough to fire off the computer to give it spark. It's really odd. But anyway, we'll continue on. This is what it looks like without the saddlebags on it. It's got these big ugly brackets. So it looks like you could take them off pretty easily. I don't know how this section looks. I guess I'd have to put the seat on it. But I guess maybe you could just take the bags and the brackets off and it would look okay. I don't know, maybe not. But this thing is not really designed for that. It's designed to be a bagger. So I'm guessing though, like I said, if you pulled that off, pulled the bag off the brackets, you could take this backrest off and maybe even just run it with one solo seat, take the windshield off and the lowers. Wouldn't take all that long, but still gonna be a big machine. So I'm gonna clean up all this area in here and this side of the engine, and we'll come on back. Well, that's about as good as I'm gonna get it for now. And I think it's pretty good. I think it's shiny. Gotta wear sunglasses, it's hurting my eyes. And there's lots of little things on it, but in the end, this is a 2007, 2006, you know, I don't even remember. So it's been around for a little while. I'm not overly pleased with the windshield, but we have improved it. Still waiting on the proper battery. Here's the saddlebag after getting cleaned up, and then I stitched it inside a little bit with the soldering iron, just kind of hold it together. I'm going to be looking for a replacement. I considered repairing this one, you know, using some good cement inside and then sanding that down, putting body filler, sanding it and painting it, but by the time I do all that, replacements are reasonably priced. I just haven't found one the right color. So I'd rather find one the right color, so I'll just wait. For right now, it is functional. The side panels are holding on well. And the only other thing I need is to figure out this button. So we'll figure that out. Like I said, I found a few of these that are broken, so they're reasonably priced, like $50. It's unfortunate I gotta pay $50 just for one button, but I haven't found a suitable alternate for that yet. So I'm pretty happy with this. Almost everything was here for it. I was only missing a couple of little bolts, the little sleeve for the ECU, which I was able to find for $10 or $15. But everything else was here, even though some things were broken. This was repaired, remember? Looks better than nothing. I'm gonna wait until I can find one reasonably priced one. So far I've only been able to find like sets of 4 or Chinese ones, and I don't really care to buy those right now. I'd rather have that one the way it is. Oh, one last thing. I did order a replacement bulb for the driving light, and the LED ones were pretty reasonably priced, so I said, well, what the heck, let's get those. Well, whoever designed them didn't think that it has to go through that hole in there, and the LED portion on the inside was bigger diameter than that. I don't know how anyone could use those, but maybe with an adapter or something. But we are done. I'm gonna throw the charger on it. I'm gonna ride it up and down the street a couple times, because even though I have said these are not my first choice of bike at the moment, it's a good looking rig and it's actually pretty darn fun to ride. There's definitely a time and a place for the cruiser bikes, don't get me wrong. It's just not my cup of tea right now. Pinky up and everything. All right. If you're digging what I'm putting out, give me that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see where this Nomad project takes us. But in the meantime, get out there and find your adventure. Adios.